And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, December 6th, 2014. This is Season 8, Episode 49. I'm Scott.
I'm Dennis.
I'm Matt.
I'm RJ.
I'm Nathan.
We've got a full house in here with the exception of James, and good God, if James was here, we just don't have the room. But soon we shall have the room. And by that I actually mean a room. I don't know if it's next week that they're doing it. There is likely a possibility that we will be missing a show while they do the transition from being up here to being downstairs. I do not know if that's going to happen yet. I likely will not know until next week or late next week if that's going to be the case. I really hope that we don't have to miss an episode. Because right now this is episode 49. Next week would be 50, and we would actually do 52 episodes, one every single weekend of the year. As long as we don't have to run a replay when they do the transition. And I think that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
But anyway, enough of that. I'll keep you posted. Check our Facebook, our Twitter, and every place else that you check to see if that's going to happen and how that's going to happen. So if you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. Check out InGameChat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat as well as over on Facebook. Nathan pretty much takes care of all the Facebook stuff. Every now and again I'll post, but most of the stuff that you see over there is posted by Nate, and he does a great job with it. You can email us, everyone, at InGameChat.net. You're streaming the cam feed right now through Twitch.tv. You can find us there as well as join the chat room live while we broadcast. Head over to Twitch.tv, search for In-Game Chat. That is where you can find us, watch us, listen to us. You can also go to News Talk 931. I think it's got an FM on it. .com? I'm not sure. News Talk 931. I really should know the station website. You can go to our radio station website. There's a listen live link there, and you can listen also. So plenty of ways to listen to us, plenty of ways to interact with us. And we love it when you do. By the way, we always give the email address. It's everyone at InGame.
There's no FM.
There is no FM. Newstalk931.com, and you can listen live over there. We always give you the email addresses, everyone at InGameChat.net. If you would ever like to get in touch with us individually, you can do that. It's always just our name at InGameChat.net. So mine's Scott at InGameChat.net, and then RJ at InGameChat.net, Matt, Dennis, James, and we got to get Nate one as well. But Nathan doesn't have one of those. If you want to talk to Nathan, hit him up on Twitter.
You're not allowed to talk to Nathan.
Yeah, you're really not. If you want to talk to Nathan, there's a phone. Give him a call. Do it. 334-272-9228 if you would like to get in touch with him. Hey, we've got all brand new music in this episode sent in by you guys, listeners. So brand new music going out of each break and coming back from each break. We've got all new music that you haven't heard yet. Well, you probably heard it when you played the games, or if you ever played the games. But, yeah, brand new music for you. Not only that, we'll have more new music next week. We've got enough music to last us through the end of the year and beyond. Speaking of, think about getting those Christmas tracks to me. Didn't you say you had some Christmas game tracks?
Yeah, I got some Christmas nights, some little things here and there. I can gather them all up for you if you want.
Yeah, start getting those to me so I can start working on that. Not that we're going to have a big Christmas episode or anything, but, we'll use Christmas music in it and talk about stuff, but... welcome to the show, everybody. We are glad to have you. I cannot get a chat room roll call, though I would really like to do that, because every time I click on this, it tells me that this feature is unavailable. So Matt is going to hand me his iPad, and I am going to be able to tell you...
Who all's there?
Yeah, this is wonderful. This is great. Okay, good. We will do that later in the show. So thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that it's there, but we'll do that later in the show, give some time for people to show up and get a nice chat room roll call. Hey, for people in the chat room, by the way, who are just listening to us, I know that AC Wraith is in there, and I know this is big for him. I do have the Venom table for Pinball Effects 2 that releases on Tuesday. So I want to do a stream of it. I want to do a preview stream of it, and instead of doing it... See, I don't know. I know AC Wraith wants to see it. And so I would like for him to show up to the live broadcast of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know where AC Wraith is located. I don't know if he's...
if he's like, in a different time
zone. If he's
time
6 hours
or
ahead of
country.
us or something like that. So
'Cause we do have listeners over in England and other places.
yes, we do. And I wanted to make it so that he could see it, but so I was thinking about taking advantage of the fact that we're on earlier now. So after the show, go home, set it up, and do a stream of it tonight. But I don't know. I don't know if he can make that or not. So I'm definitely gonna work it around his schedule because he shows up to every one of these that he can. Upstate New York. Oh, good. So you can do that. You can show up. All right, good. It's settled. After the show, we're going to stream
Sweet.
the new Venom table from Pinball Effects. It'll be like an hour or so after the show. We will not be doing it from this studio since we don't have that time anymore. But
Then, you got to go home and set up.
yeah, I'll have to go home and set up, but definitely we'll do that. So anyway, enough of the show notes. Let's dive right into the show. We are going to get to the Game Awards. We are going to get to the PlayStation Experience. Those two things just happened last night for the Game Awards. The PlayStation Experience keynote, that's going on all weekend, but the keynote happened today at noon. And we're going to be talking about all of that as well. But first, let's get the usual run around with what everybody's been doing, starting with the guy that was not here last week, Nate. But you called in.
I did.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we'll start with you anyway.
Really, this just the week. It's finals week, so I've been dealing with all schoolwork and stuff. But other than that, it's just been a little bit of WoW and a little bit of Shadows on PS4.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But there's only two things I'm playing.
All right. Pass the mic on over to RJ. Again, something that we won't have to do. I say that. I'm not exactly sure, but I believe it's something we will not have to do once we get our new room.
We're going to have a bunch of surprises
You won't have to.
first day.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is going to be so fun to do the show on the first day on our new room with all the bugs that we're going to have to work out. Coming in extra early to frame
up
all that stuff up and figure out how that's going to work. But you won't have to share headphone jacks. You won't have to share a microphone. It'll be just much better for you guys, and hopefully everything will sound good too. But anyway, digress. Go ahead.
Yeah, I played a little Virtua Fighter 5, a little bit more Dead Space, and then I started feeling a little nostalgic and booted up my Dreamcast and my Saturn.
Oh, man.
Played some Ikaruga and Thunder Force 5.
Okay.
Played those two and had a real good time with that, reminiscing about those days of playing those shoot 'em ups for hours at a time.
You know, speaking of Dreamcast and Saturn, I went to the local Retro Game Planet.
You went to Retro Game Planet?
Yeah,
Okay,
in
yeah.
Prattville.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was talking to those guys, mentioned that,
Yeah,
I'm
Rustin
here.
is the guy
Rustin.
that runs
Yeah.
the place. Yeah.
Mentioned that, I'm here on the show and everything, and they gave me some cards, and they're like, yeah, that's awesome, and that's great, and they said that they remember Planet Games, James, Jeremy, and mine.
I didn't know that.
previous,
Yeah.
adventure.
I don't think we ever brought it up when James and I were in the store. I don't think we ever brought that up that Planet Games
used
used to exist.
Not Rustin, but the other guy that worked there.
I'm not sure of the name. I only know Rustin.
Yeah.
Was it Josh?
Yes. Yeah, Josh.
And Josh.
Yeah. He was, talking about, I used to go in there. I'm like, that's you. I'm like, yeah, that was so long ago. But no, like, super nice. They had, like, some old Dreamcast stuff, and I'm like, I need to break out my Dreamcast and, like, set that up and everything. So it was kind of neat being able to see, like, those old games, that I love so much.
I'll load in their spot here to play when we
that'd
go
be
to
great.
break.
Yeah, super
So
nice
people can
guys.
hear it.
If, like, anybody who's listening, if you're, like, in this local area, definitely.
Yeah, if you are in Prattville, we'll mention it again. They are doing advertising with us anyway. But if you are in Prattville or if you're in Montgomery or around the area, head down to Prattville, and it's over where Bama Lanes is located in that shopping center there. I do not know the name of it. It's right next to Organic Hippie.
Yeah.
And it's in the block with like the alt stuff, with the
Yeah.
exception of some insurance agency or some travel agency or something.
Maybe they're like an alt insurance agency.
It's weird because there's a store, there's Organic Hippie, which is like a head shop, Next to that is Retro Game Planet.
Yeah.
At the end of the thing is like a tattoo place.
Yeah.
And then right in the middle of all that stuff
They
is
have
like
the Blue Iguana bar.
no. In that
Is
just
that-
that strip,
Oh, just that strip,
one
yeah,
little
yeah.
strip there is like a travel agency or an insurance place, all suit and tie stuff next to
Everything else.
Next to everything else. So
One of these things is not like the others.
exactly, but I'm sure they're all great together. But so yeah, check out Retro Game Planet. Say hello to Rustin, and they've got some great stuff. They really
yeah.
do. And I haven't been in there in a while, so it's all really amazing. And holidays coming up, good stuff to get there. So yeah, you went there and told them about Planet Games and stuff. Good.
Yeah, I just talked to him for a good while. It's just neat.
Cool.
I've been
Moving on to you.
Yes. Been playing some more Far Cry 4. I've opened up the second half of the map, which is really neat. Just loving that. Doing GTA 5 on my PS4. Just, it's fun to go back in Liberty City. I mean, not Liberty City, but San Andreas and just run around that. And I picked up Stick of Truth last weekend.
Yeah.
And played a little bit of that. And
It's on sale again this weekend. The Game Awards. All the nominees for the Game Awards went on sale, and I still. We were talking about this earlier. I still haven't picked it up. It's still it still sits in my mind. In my head, Steam has two sales: summer, winter.
Yes,
that's it. They do have these little sales in between. They have the
4th of July. Well, that'd be summer. But,
no, that's the summer sale. They have the Quake weekend,
for QuakeCon.
Yeah, for QuakeCon, they have that sort of thing, and every now and again they'll have weekends for publishers and stuff like that. But there's two sales: there's the summer and the winter, and that's how I guide how I'm going to buy this stuff. In between that time, if something goes on sale, do I say, "Am I going to buy this now and play it before it goes on sale again?" I don't know, and that's where I'm sitting right now with the Game Awards, and kind of when it was for the Thanksgiving sale that they did a week ago
or so,
is that I'm not going to get any time in that game until
later on
Christmas.
This year, if not
or
next
at
year.
least not until not any time before it goes on sale again.
Yeah.
For Christmas, and then maybe I'll pick it up then. So that's why I'm kind of holding off.
I would say
pretty much
definitely
a lot of that stuff.
Put it in your back burner.
Oh, it's in the wish list. It's in the wish list.
But yeah, it's a fun. It was a fun little event, RPG.
So Christmas time.
Yeah.
Gift giving on Steam. It's the perfect time.
So yeah, I've been doing that. Still downloading games from my Steam account.
Yeah.
That's taken a while. As soon as some would finish downloading, I'd pop it up, see how it runs. So ran through a couple levels of Force Unleashed. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Picked up Kingdom Hearts 2.5.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to getting back into that.
I'll say, have you gotten through 1.5 at all yet?
I haven't gotten through all of it. Well, actually, I just got to Traverse Town.
you got a bit to go then.
A little bit, but I've played. I've beaten that one back in the day when the original came out. So I know that. I know the basics.
I never did, and I've got the 1.5 free.
You also have the Gaiden games essentially.
Yeah.
There's Chain of Memories and Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
On 2.5. So yeah, you got plenty of homework to do on that one.
Oh yeah.
Dennis, what have you been doing?
Lots of Rebirth, just still hammering away at that.
I guess I have to ask each time, but I still.
I do occasionally do other things. I did pick up 2.5. Haven't even put it in the system yet, but I've got it sitting on the shelf ready to go. But aside from that, just steadily trying to get better, get through more of the unlock more content. Try to get things like the card against humanity and the like in that game.
The what?
The card against humanity.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I know what Cards Against Humanity are.
There's nice little references in Isaac like that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. For me, what have I played anything? No. I spent a lot of time installing the little system in the bedroom there, hanging up the TV, and then getting all the components built, or not the components built, but I had to build a shelf for the components. Getting all of those updated. My old 360 I had to download so many updates for that, and the old PS3 I had to download a ton of updates for that. These are systems that have been unplugged since the launch of the next-gen systems last year, and so they haven't been updated or anything. And so went through all that, setting all that up, and I really haven't played anything. I did take back Far Cry 4, and I took back GTA 5. Aren't they having a sale next week at Best Buy? Aren't they doing a 2-for-1 thing?
Yeah, starting Sunday.
Yeah.
It's buy two, get one free.
Buy two, get one
Or
free.
starting tomorrow.
And that'll be great for Gamers Club Unlocked, because I got $88 back for those two games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I spent maybe $94, $95 on those, and I got $88 back after them.
Okay.
So it's a nice little rental fee. Maybe $10 to rent two games around there. And so I'll take this back, and then I can go back and I can pick up, do a 2-for-1 thing and see how that goes.
Do you know what you think you might pick up?
No idea. If I don't know if I'll pick up anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you picked up Rogue yet?
I might pick up HD 2. Yes, I did. I got that on a sale on Amazon for like $20.
All
for
right.
360.
Okay.
And I picked up Diablo 3
Oh,
on
yeah.
PS4.
I
for
remember last week you mentioned that one.
$25 on Amazon sale. I think it was 20, maybe been 30. But yeah, I grabbed those. I have both of those actually, and I look forward to playing them now that I've got my old systems hooked back up, or at least Diablo 4 or 3. I can play that on the PS4, but Rogue is on the 360, so that'll be fun to play. But that's it. I really haven't been playing much of anything. Going to get some pinball tonight after the show for the Venom table, and I know Talos Principle releases next week.
Maybe then you'll be able to talk more about it.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it today. I got a private message sent to me on Gaff from somebody who listens to the show and had some questions about it. And I do want to kind of address his questions. I want to address some situations with what Spigot sent me a tweet over the week cursing me because it pushed him to buy the game. And he felt bad about paying the $40 or whatever it was for the full price of the game. And I want to talk about the price a little bit because I don't like that price. But we'll get into that. I want to go to the phones real quick right now. Nate, if you will put him on for us, that is Xander on the line. Xander, you are on the air. Thanks for waiting, man. We appreciate it.
No, no problem.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Georgia.
From where?
Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
Yeah, Georgia, yeah.
Thought he
Georgia.
said Joseph.
Can you speak up a little bit? I can barely hear you.
I thought he said Jersey.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough for you. I don't know. Can you hear?
Did he
Yeah, a little bit, you're a little bit better.
Okay. What's up? What's on your mind?
Nothing. I just wanted to ask you guys what y'all thought about playing massively multiplayer online RPGs. I'm married, and my wife seems to think it's a hindrance on her love life.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Let's see. James
Yeah,
would be,
James would be the one to
James would be the one to talk to you about it because he plays the most of it out of any of us. But I would go over to Nate.
Yeah.
So what was the question again?
What do you think
Yeah,
about playing?
I play it.
Go
She
ahead.
thinks it's a hindrance on our love life, and I play it at least probably 12 hours a day. Do you consider that bad, or?
I don't consider that bad.
How do you sleep and work and?
Oh, no, I live stream. I make all my money off live streaming.
Oh.
But
okay.
She seems to think playing that game too much causes problems with our relationship. But that's my career. That's how I make a living.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
What
this
do
is
I do?
interesting.
How do I balance our time together?
What do you do? Goodness.
Get her into it.
You've got a girlfriend, right?
Yes.
Nate? Okay.
Yes.
I like how quizzically you asked that.
Well, because I'm not exactly sure. I don't go into his personal life. I
Yeah.
only know a little bit. So
I mean,
how do you balance? Obviously, he's on a different level as far as how much he plays and how much he makes off playing, of course. But how do you deal with that?
I mean, before I used to always just make sure I joined a guild where we raided at night, so I never usually had to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
I'd always be home, so I don't know.
Well, okay, so I'm just looking at this from an outsider's perspective here on this, so I don't necessarily know that you want to take any of my advice on this. You need to talk to her, obviously.
Well, see, I've talked to her before, and we've actually got into pretty heated arguments about this. Like, she would start throwing stuff. She even threatened to throw my computer out the window. I mean,
How long
this
you guys?
is my career. This is my life. This has been my life for a few years now, actually. And
What? Okay.
I don't want to disappoint the hundreds of viewers that I get.
You broadcast on Twitch?
Yes.
What's your Twitch name? Go ahead and plug.
I'll do that later. I'm not on my computer right now.
Okay.
Well,
I actually stepped away to cook some dinner. But yeah, I just wanted to hear what you guys thought about that.
yeah, I mean,
I mean,
the main
it's hard. It's hard. I mean, it's something I love and enjoy doing, and she, refuses to let me enjoy it. And it's come to the point where I kind of just want to end it.
You want to end the relationship?
Yeah, we're married.
How long you been married?
6 years.
Yeah, you should end it.
Yeah, she even refuses to let me, play with the old Johnson from time to time. So that's a different story.
Right. You can go ahead and cut him off.
joyous.
And that's okay because I hit the button, so it's fine. Not that he didn't say anything bad. It was just the fact of Yeah. It's always great when you have a telephone line that people can call in, and this is what you get. Especially when you broadcast, you're going to get things like this, and it's always fun. That's why I told him to go ahead and dump her and get a divorce.
We should have told him 20 gigs.
Really? I know. We really should have, but those are always fun. Lots of trolls. Anyway, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, look, if you do want to call, that's fine. We do want to hear from you. We really do. And I'll give you the number again, 334-272-9228. But you get your one shot, man, to throw something in, and as soon as it doesn't work, we'll cut you off and won't take the call again.
Next. Exactly.
That's it. We don't mind taking the calls. We don't mind getting the calls. And honestly, when the trolls come in, they come in, and we get rid of them. But, somebody's calling back now. Great. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Game Awards, and we'll talk about the PlayStation experience, and hopefully get your thoughts and opinions on them as well. We'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat in just a moment. Here is music from Beyond Good and Evil. The title of this is called Safari Photo. We'll be right back. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Anybody know what this is from?
No.
No clue.
Grim Fandango.
Wow.
I'm glad you answered.
You have failed your people.
I know.
This is called Lost Souls Alliance.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Might take you a while to recover from that one, man.
I'm just going to, yeah. Wow, I'm going to cry.
Anyway, welcome back to In-Game Chat. We are on the radio. We are on live FCC monitored radio. Just so you know. So I know that we're on Twitch, and a lot of you may be watching us on Twitch. We are not like any other gaming talk show that is on Twitch and has to follow those kind of rules. So, not that anybody said anything wrong that the FCC would get mad of. It was just the content was like, nah, not part of us. So that's when we cut that off. Anyway, let's go to the phones now and talk to Zufu. You're on the air live radio, Zufu. How's it going?
Doing good. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing?
Hey-o.
Doing good.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we touched on last week, and it kind of dovetails with, the PS experience and the whole video game awards with new trailers and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think this generation has been the worst for deceptive trailers, like, with E3 2013 with Watch Dogs, and like they basically try to sell you like a really good-looking game, and then the actual game doesn't really deliver. And I was wondering if you guys have had any thoughts about any way that the industry can kind of self-regulate it and try to see if there's a way that they can kind of hold publishers accountable for not meeting those kind of standards, or is that unrealistic?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if that's unrealistic or not, but
No,
I think it's a tough line to walk, because
publishers they want to put the best-looking thing out there because they want to sell the games. Even if that means, I think maybe bending the truth a little bit. They're, I don't know. To me, it feels like they're not above, obviously, just sort of, kind of lying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of that's really ever going away. I think one of the best things that you can have is kind of like what was done today at the PlayStation Experience. They opened with Uncharted 4, and I wasn't sure at first if we were watching cutscene or some kind of I didn't know until I got deep into it that I was like, oh, we're watching live gameplay, or at least
at the beginning it said this is all being ran on the PS4.
Right, but I didn't know if it was.
But take that for a grain of salt.
I didn't know if it was canned video. I didn't know if it was live gameplay. I didn't know if I didn't know we were going to get a segment that was as long as that segment was.
Gotcha.
And I didn't know if this was just like a cutscene that we were going to see again, kind of like we saw for the E3 reveal, or maybe a longer cutscene, even though it would all be running on the PS4. And then when it started the gameplay, I thought, okay, good, they're showing us gameplay. And I noticed he was getting shot a lot. But I thought, whatever, canned video, fine. And then, they had the glitch where he fell through the environment. And the game reset him back at a certain point in his gameplay. I thought, okay, we are watching... watching
this is
live,
actually legit. Yeah,
we're watching live gameplay, and likely on a PS4 for something like that to happen. But
unless they programmed in a glitch, then I'm just getting super paranoid.
All right, so that seeing something presented that way.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you go watch the video, because immediately after they showed that, Naughty Dog's Twitter account was like, "Here, go watch the video," and it does that's pre-canned footage that you're watching there. Because it does not have the death in there. But I think getting stuff like that is kind of the way that I want to see my games presented. I like proof that what I'm seeing is real, and not canned. And unfortunately, you're just not going to get that out of a lot of people. Naughty Dog, I think, is notorious for playing their stuff on stage live. They have been for a while. But I think there's a lot of others that don't do that. Even some of your E3 stuff where the guy goes up and plays it live, there's not any kind of putting on the tinfoil hat. There's not really kind of any idea that he's just not up there being a mimic.
Yeah.
To represent somebody playing it live but showing canned footage. There's no good way to figure out if that's the case. And they're really, I think it's too much for us to try and decipher all that. I think there's a general rule is to wait. Get excited if you want to. If it's a franchise you're happy about, that's great. But just
you may want to lay off the pre-orders.
Keep an open mind that what you see is not always what you're going to get.
You just got to remember that everything, whenever they're showing you something, it's a controlled message.
Yeah.
It's a controlled environment.
It is.
Nothing's going to be unless it's live.
Now, anytime you see that stuff, anytime you see that stuff, everything is being marketed to you. You've got to remember that when you watch these things. They are trying
to elicit a certain feeling.
Yes, and they're trying to get you to want to buy that, to want to pre-order it,
whatever
the case.
They want your day one money right away. That's all it's engineered to get you to do.
And they want you to remember it.
Now, I will post on Facebook our shirts that we're going to be selling soon.
But the thing for me is, in any in any other industry, like whether it be in the medical, like the FDA regulates it. If you put out false claims or a false product, like you're held accountable. So there are people who are pre-ordering these games based on an assumption of the trailer being the actual game, and then it actually doesn't turn out to be the case. Like you talked about, you don't really know for sure. Maybe they're holding an Xbox controller on stage, but it's running on a PC in the background. Like,
exactly.
All of these things.
I believe that was done. I believe that was done for Watch Dogs when they did that big reveal way back when. I think the guy came out holding a PlayStation controller. Or something. He wasn't holding, he wasn't holding mouse and keyboard when he was running it, but it was running off of a PC. But again, that's. Oh goodness, did we lose him? Did we lose? We lost Zufu. I did not hang up on Zufu. We lost.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, we lost.
Look
Zufu.
over at Nate.
He might call back, or he might jump in the chat room. He brings a great question though. Is like how.
I know he was like talking about how holding people accountable because like the trailer's showing one thing, the final product's something different. It's not to this extent, but movies do that too. Well, you'll watch a trailer for a movie and they'll have scenes in there that didn't make the final cut. Yeah. And I mean, not saying there might be like a joke or a part that you're like, oh wow, that's really awesome, and then when you go see the movie, it's not there. You're like, oh well, all right, that's kind of different. It's not quite to the extent of the video games, but. Yeah, Star Wars, whatever. But, it happens. So, I don't know. These are all controlled messages that they're just trying to, control.
I think in terms of regulation, you won't find that either because this is entertainment, really. I mean, entertainment, some options are going to be good, some are just going to be god-awful.
Yeah, well, in particular, truth in advertising stuff like that. It comes into play when it's like specific numbers mentioned, like it's going to do this much miles per gallon if you're talking about a car.
Yeah, and it's estimated.
But this is like
entertainment's so subjective too, because what I might find, wow, that's an interesting trailer, that looks really good. You guys might look at it and be like, wow, that's complete trash.
Yeah. I give you the best example of that when you said clips that don't make it into advertising. There was a movie years back, The Fan. I think it was Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro. Yeah. I mean, if you watch the promo, it's like 60 seconds and like really got your interest. You want to see the film. And I saw the film. It was like
the
2
final
hours
cut's completely different.
Oh, it was a mess.
It has a different feel to it. It has a different, Yeah,
it was a real tedious, real chore to get through.
Yeah, there's some, but some movie experiences are like that, where you think the movie going into it's going to be one thing, but the actual experience is going to be completely different. Kind of like with these game trailers, you're expecting one kind of experience, by watching this one video. And then you get it, and you're like, wow, this really isn't how I expected the game to play out. Mm-hmm.
So do you think... Hey, Zufu, welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No problem. So then do you think that gamers should be more up in arms about this sort of thing or less?
I would think be skeptical. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Zufu.
I have a possible solution, and you guys can tell me if it sounds reasonable or not.
Okay.
You remember back in the 90s when Mortal Kombat came out and Congress got so upset and they basically threatened the games industry that if you guys don't clean it up, we're going to go ahead and take over and manage.
Yeah, that's when they created the ESRB.
Right. Exactly. And that was a self-regulated thing that the industry made themselves to kind of, keep the government out. I'm thinking maybe if they had like a panel of maybe like a group that kind of monitors to see how often certain companies, do this kind of thing, and kind of give it like a grade at the end of the year, kind of like a shaming in a way to kind of deter it and make it known that, these people are really known for doing these kind of things.
The thing I wonder about that, though, is that games sometimes take a long time to develop, and so they're showing something early on in the development, and then games have been, there have been some games that have been known to halfway through production just change completely because this isn't working, this mechanic's not right.
BioShock Infinite,
Resident Evil 4,
Resident Evil 2.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of these games are like that because they take years sometimes, and so if you're going off of like some earlier game footage, you're expecting, all right, hey, this trailer might be this way, but then after play testing the mechanic might not work right, so we got to go back to the drawing board and sort of retweak and revise. So that might not be kind of too fair because they do take a while and it might be different.
Yeah, I think eventually I don't think I like your suggestion, Zufu. I just don't think your suggestion will ever happen. What I think I would like to do, and I remember doing this during last night's show and during today's presentation. watching stuff and just not necessarily being skeptical. I don't want to be a stick in the mud every time I watch something. Do I still want to get excited about it? Sure, yes. But
at the same time, you have to consider what you've seen and not what you feel.
Yeah, just sort of going with skepticism.
I sort of say that, and I sort of agree with you, Dennis, and I sort of don't. I mean, why should you not go with what you feel?
Well, I mean, you can, but then you wind up with Assassin's Creed Unity, where everybody looks like they got stuffed in the Freddy Fazbear.
Sometimes you do, and then sometimes you don't.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the gamble.
I'll tell you now, I'm looking forward, right now, one that I can't do that with, the one where my feelings just cannot be
contained
or reined in, I suppose, is for we lost Zufu again. Man, I don't know if he's on a cell phone or what, but he dropped off. Thanks for calling again, Zufu. Is for Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, consider that.
Okay.
You have the history.
Where's Rocksteady let you down in the previous games? Have they let you down in the previous games?
No, they haven't. I mean, give or take a few little things that I thought they could have done, because the story of Arkham City I had some issues with, but I still played that thing twice.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's the thing I consider. But there's still the chance that Arkham Knight could be a complete dog of a game.
It could be like Colonial Marines.
It is possible.
That's
not likely. It's possible. It's
right.
entirely likely you'll enjoy it.
That's a possibility with all of those things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How hard was it for you to hold in your excitement for Rebirth?
Oh, very hard. I did consider it's like it could be completely the game I don't want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I'll spend the money. I'll take that chance. And that's the thing. It is a gamble. It is a chance. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not certainty. This is going to be the best game ever. It's never that. It's never for sure.
So then I guess it maybe comes down to player specific. It's
Yeah.
specific.
It's going to vary from individual to individual based on what you like, what you don't like. If you can stomach some of the flaws of the game in order to get the experience you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm first to admit that I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise. Always have been. Even 3, I don't feel as bad about 3 as James does. I don't like 3, but I don't feel anywhere near how he feels or how Ravenlock feels about it. Eric, but and probably many others who have taken that stance on it also. But I also don't. But then Unity hit, and that's where it burned me. That was the first time it really burned me. I'd played all the series through there with the exception of handhelds, and then Unity released, and that's when it got me. And so for the first time, when they announced the new Assassin's Creed or leaked it or whatever the case it was, the one that takes Assassin's Creed
London
Victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing you have to consider is that we've been playing games for a minute.
I know.
So as somebody who is the first experience they have with Assassin's Creed Victory, they see a big booming trailer full of stuff. It's like, yeah, explosions and stabbity. That looks fun. And that's all they see. That's all they know of Assassin's Creed. That's why you have the big, expansive trailer.
Because if it was more of a subtle trailer going to what you know from the people new to the series, they might not get it. They might not pick up on the subtlety, or they like, oh, well, this looks kind of, I don't know, boring or whatever. They kind of have to, I guess my guess would be every time they have to make it for, the trailers for these people who don't know what it is, to like get them hooked into it.
W. Matthew says, why can't people just stop pre-ordering?
People want to spend money. I mean,
that's the situation.
If people got money to blow on a game and they think the $60 is worth it, they'll do it.
No, the reason that people aren't going to stop pre-ordering is because they're not going to stop allowing you to pre-order. That's not going to go away. And as long as it's out there for somebody to pre-order, people are going to do it.
Yeah, and some people see it as a thing where it's like, okay, if I put my $60 down 6 months ahead of time, that's $60 I'm not having to worry about.
I mean, it's got that whole situation of pre-ordering a game and then getting it and it being crap. Do you know how many Unities we have to have happen before people really stop doing the pre-order situation?
Quite a few. It'll be quite a few in a row.
I'd say a few. It's going to be a lot. It's got to be on almost every major game release.
And sometimes, I mean, like, I still pre-order, but like it's when they entice me with like DLC or something, that like or the free season pass or something, I'll still do it, but I try and tend to pre-order games that I kind of might know, like Far Cry 4. All right, I've played the other 3 Far Cries. I kind of know what I'm getting myself into. I typically won't pre-order something that's like a new IP or something that's kind of untested. I kind of stick to something that I have.
Well, you got burned
feeling.
as well, Colonial Marines on you.
I know Aliens, and that one still kind of got me.
Although for you, again, if we look at the two franchises, Batman and Aliens, one team has always done it, Rocksteady, and you guys have gone through
several
multiple,
different,
and so you're banking on something.
More of an idea than a team or a development crew.
Let's go back to the phones real quick. We've got J-Rock on the line. J-Rock, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, man, where are you calling from?
Frankville, Alabama.
Oh, hey. Have you been over to Retro Game Planet?
Just a neighbor.
Oh, okay. What's up, man?
Well, I've had a problem with New Vegas.
With New Vegas?
Uh-huh.
Was your problem being that it's too awesome? Because it is.
It is awesome. It really is. Besides, the few little here and there glitches. Like
that just adds flavor.
With the mysterious character coming in. Once he comes in, it freezes up for a little while. He's just sitting there shooting.
What are you playing on? What system is he playing on?
I don't know.
360.
Okay.
So you're having some technical problems?
Yes. I was on the strip. I had been to. I went in. I got the chip from Benny.
Okay.
I came out, and then I went to go into the White Glove Society and everything. You can't take your weapons in.
Yeah.
Then I leave my weapons on Eddie, and so I went inside. And then when I come back out, they have taken all of my weapons. And I had to go all the way back to like one of my very, very last saves, and it was in Big Mountain. The last
the Old World Blues DLC
save for that. But all the other saves I had, I went to try to go back to, and it still wasn't giving me all of my weapons back. And I had all the updated weapons. I had 40-some thousand caps. I don't know if anyone else has had that trouble.
I haven't had that particular problem, no.
Okay, what about the mysterious guy?
The stranger?
Coming in freezing, yeah.
Yeah, I play on the PC, and mine didn't have that effect. Like, I've taken the mysterious stranger perk before, and he just sort of pops in, shoots a couple people, and leaves. Mine didn't freeze up like that.
Yeah, because on the other Fallout, on Fallout 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was. I was talking to my wife. I was trying to. That one came in, shot up, and was gone. No problem. And I know it's an awesome game, but I just was trying to figure out if there was something I did or if there's something.
No. New Vegas was a different development team.
That was Obsidian.
Which tend to do really good games, but they do tend to have bugs in them. It just seems to be a feature of that company, unfortunately, whether that's because of...
I'm sorry, one more. You're real distorted.
Oh.
That's odd.
Yeah, it's strange. But Obsidian Entertainment is the one who did New Vegas instead of Bethesda proper. So they are a company known that sometimes their games tend to have some bugs, sometimes game breaking, sometimes just little graphical glitches. And sadly, that is kind of par for the course for an Obsidian game.
How about patches or upgrades he can go on his system?
Well, he's not going to be able to. He's on a 360.
Yeah, I'll say you're on 360, so anything that's out there is out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we haven't been, into the gaming, maybe 2 years, 3 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not real knowledgeable of it. But I listen to you guys, listen to your reviews, and it's helped me out a lot. I've learned a lot.
Cool.
I really, really, really appreciate you guys, and I tell everyone that I talk to, everyone that plays. I even go into GameStop and tell them.
Well, we appreciate it, man, and we thank you for listening. Yeah. We thank you for the call, even though we really couldn't help you on that. The best thing I can tell you to do, Do you happen? I don't know how New Vegas's save system works. Do you happen to have a save before that?
Yeah, because
well, the save before that was every save that we had all the way before all of those it did the same thing though. We had to go. It was a save all the way back to Big Mountain that gave us what caps we had then, and our weapons that we had before all of that. We had to go the save all the way back to Big Mountain. Every save before that would take all our weapons.
And it's been a minute since I've played New Vegas, especially that area with the White Glove Society. I'm trying to remember if I don't know if they have all of your gear, maybe in a lockbox or somewhere. They confiscate it from from your crew, and then just keep it in a lockbox. And if you just tear through and sort of search for it in the building, it might be there. I don't remember.
Yeah, they seem to be upstairs in the vault, or in the they say it's safe as houses,
Yeah.
But one more question that I had is, okay, is there anything that I need to clean or do anything to keep my Xbox to make it last longer? Should I use any kind of duster to dust off right there where the fan is, or
it wouldn't hurt? I mean,
nothing. Yeah,
just, any kind of compressed air.
Yeah, any kind of way you can clean your box is is always good for it, and always will help it last for as long as it can. Some things just die, as they said.
Yeah.
as I believe Peter Moore, I think it was, who said some things just die.
Yeah, some things just die. Yeah, you're right.
Which luckily.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, luckily you're playing on a 360, and those things can be found pretty cheap, especially used ones. Retro Game Planet, again, we'll be able to take care of you on that end, so not all bad for you. We appreciate you calling, man.
Okay, can I have one more question?
One more, what you got?
Okay, on the Fallout 3, we went and bought the other version to get to level 50.
Yeah, the game of the year version.
To get to 30.
Yeah.
Because you can only go to 20. But I put it in my Xbox, and it was the newest Slim, and it's saying that I'm going to need an external hard drive to play that one. But the one I'm playing now played just fine with all the downloadables.
Yeah, well, probably because you're playing it with all those downloadables, you've probably
filled up your hard drive space.
I'm guessing your Slim was a 4 gig system. I don't know, but you can check what size your hard drive is in the system itself. If it's 4 gigs, you're going to have to get rid of some stuff and then throw Fallout back on it. So if you want to play that, or get a bigger external hard drive, which you can get through GameStop or Amazon or stuff like that, you can buy those. I don't know if Rustin has any over at Retro Game Planet, but you can get those. But I think you're out of space on that one. So that's up to you on what you want to get rid of or how much space you need. I'm sure it says it on the box how much space you need to play those. So I would look into your system, find out how much space you do have and how much you need to get rid of, and then go from there on what you need to get rid of. Don't forget, you can always get that stuff back even though you're getting rid of it, because it's all tied to your console. So don't feel bad about dropping stuff off.
All right.
But we appreciate the call, man. Thanks so much.
All right, and we thank you guys, and thanks for the crew there.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
have a great day, man.
All right, thank y'all.
Bye-bye. Yeah, let's go over to our next caller. It is Halston on the line. Halston, you are on the air. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from State College, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
wow. Hey.
What's going on with you this afternoon?
There's a couple topics that I would like to talk about, actually.
Okay.
First one being the Call of Duty franchise.
Okay.
And I was just wondering about your opinions on pro gamers having an effect on the game itself and the gaming community, as in if a gun is too powerful or if it's just killing people too fast and the pros complain about it, then
the dev teams usually nerf it.
They nerf it and they change everything about the game. And I was just wondering what your opinion on if that's something that you would agree with, or because I think it's kind of dumb. I stopped playing the Call of Duty franchise because it kind of went down the hill, and I play PC now.
Yeah, I haven't played multiplayer Call of Duty in a long
since like
time.
4.
I played single. I'll play some single player Call of Duty, just that one little trip through the story, and then I'm done with it. But
same here.
I haven't played that in a long time. The only developer I can give you any kind of experience from has been Bungie with Destiny.
Yeah,
and
Destiny. Yeah,
that is they have a bad problem about how they tweak their stuff. They had a huge problem this week. They tried to make their weapon the exotic weapons feel more overpowered, and and did it for like a day, and then it broke things. So I don't know. That's the only one I've got experience, and I am by no means a professional shooter guy.
I used to play Call of Duty competitively since COD 4 actually, and that's when I started playing back when I'm only 23, so I started playing Call of Duty back when COD 4 came out, and I played competitively all the way up until Black Ops 2, and then when Call of Duty Ghost came out, I was just like, this game they're just changing everything, and they're nerfing this, they're nerfing that, and I stopped playing, and I actually transferred over to PC and started playing Counter-Strike.
Okay,
and
that's a good
I'm
one.
in love with Counter-Strike. I've been playing it for a while now. And,
I was going to say,
way better.
I think you're going to have a better time with Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I'm actually watching ESEA right now, the championships.
That's right, it's going on too.
I'm all about Counter-Strike, and that was actually my second topic is Counter-Strike. I don't know how much you guys are into the professional gaming, but the VAC bans that have been going on in the pro gamings with Kaylee and all these pro teams, and them going and doing these at LANs and having these extra, I guess, aim helpers, aim assists, where after the 12th bullet, it pulls their gun up to a head and gets them an instant headshot. And these guys are using these at LANs, and they've won hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I know how, in the Olympics, if they do, I don't remember any, like if you take steroids and you win an Olympic gold medal, they'll take your gold medal away from you because you used
performance
an enhancement to help you.
Yeah.
So do you think that in pro gaming with these LAN tournaments, winning hundreds of thousands of dollars with the aim assistance, that they should be liable to give that back?
I don't know much. I don't know much about the topic you're talking, the professional gaming stuff. I watch the fighter things. I watch the fighting Evo championships and stuff like that. But
yeah, I've seen those on Twitch every once in a while. I'm a streamer myself. So
yeah,
I watch Twitch all the time.
I would think that if you're a streamer yourself, you want to go ahead and you want to plug your channel.
I'll do it after we get off the phone. I got your guys' stream pulled up right here. I don't stream much anymore because I kind of fell down the hill, switched games from Xbox to PC, and kind of just went downhill.
All right. No,
I have about 4,500 followers. I was up there, but it just but I'll plug it in if anybody's interested in some Counter-Strike streaming after we get off the phone.
Well, you do it here while people are listening, is all I'm saying.
Well, actually, yeah, it's www.twitch.tv/Halston_Shotwell. I can type in the chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, throw it in the chat room. That'll be great. I would think, obviously, that they would have to go through these.
I would say that I used to watch Counter-Strike and used to play it big time back in 2008, 2007. And
I remember back in 99.
Yeah, well, that's the other one.
Yeah.
The original. But anyway, so I would say, when it comes to, console, I don't think aim assist should be allowed at all.
So they are allowed now?
Well, no. The aim assist is a cheat. So they either put some type of Bluetooth thing into their mouse, and once they get to the LAN, the mouse transfers the cheat onto the computer somehow, or Steam has these workshops, and what they'll do is they'll download these workshops while nobody's paying attention on their Steam account, and then it's undetected. It's not like walls. You can't see red boxes.
Yeah.
They don't press a button on their keyboard. It's just automatic. It just does it.
Well, to me, that sounds dodgy.
Yeah, given what you're telling me, I would agree with you that I think those steps should be taken. That if somebody who won has found to be using some type of performance enhancer as far as aim assist or anything like that anything that gives them an edge up over the other person that is not their own skill,
they should definitely be liable for it.
That they should strip them of winnings and award it to whoever came in second or whatever. It should. I truly believe that.
Typically,
that's exactly how I felt about it.
Usually,
because 2 players were VAC banned, through Valve anti-cheat. They ended up getting VAC banned.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, so these people were, everybody loves these players, and they got caught cheating. So everybody's like, wow, these guys just won, $250,000, and this player on their team was cheating. So it's like, how crappy is that?
But typically in main tournaments, you're not even allowed to bring your own computer. The only thing you're allowed to do is bring your mouse and keyboard.
Well,
usually you have to play on their stuff. So usually that prevents that.
With DreamHack, that just happened, DreamHack 2014, they had a little bit better of stopping it. They checked mouses. They made sure that Steam was offline, so you couldn't even connect to anything. So they're helping it. I was just thinking of the last tournament, of all that money that was won, and now it's just...
Yeah, I mean, if it's proven, definitely, like all sports.
I mean, I agree with that. If they're not doing that, then I hope that the community and audience of that thing is raising some hell about it.
There's nothing better than playing Counter-Strike and being accused of being a hacker.
Oh, yeah, I get accused of it all the time.
That's the greatest feeling.
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, that was my main thing. This is my first time tuning into you guys, and I saw you guys on Twitch, and I was like, oh, check this out. And so I was watching you guys. I figured I'd give you a call and talk about it.
Well, we appreciate you calling in. We do have to go to a commercial break. We are actually on the radio, so we have to do station ID here, and then we got to do commercial break, and then. But we appreciate you calling, man. Thanks so much.
All right, fellas. You guys have a good night.
You too. And if you would like to get in your phone calls, you can 334-272-9228. I think coming up next, we're going to talk about the Game Awards and the PlayStation Experience situation or stuff that happened yesterday. We think we're going to do that, but if we get callers, you guys are more than welcome. So we appreciate it. We'll be back in just a moment. Here is music from Vigilante 8, Second Offense. It's called Obsession in D minor. You probably know what's coming. We'll be right back right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. That is music from the Die Hard trilogy. Die Hard trilogy. It's that track is called Wall Street. Again, thanks to all the music submissions that we got. This is great. Enjoy it very much. Let's do a chat room roll call real quick. Nothing quick about doing this. It's a long list. AC Wraith, Alone and Silent. Let's see. Come to Dust, Lavos, Freakin' Leakin'. There's no spaces in some of these. Houston Shotwell, who just called us. Lubrijosh, I think. Rated Gamer. Rated E Gamer. STM Fuller. Stufu. SZ3TH. Taz H87. The Ultimate Pika. Tiffy Boy. TYTDL, W. Matthew, who is on the phone with us and will be taking this call in just a minute, and Wolfdick4, all in the chat room, and maybe some others as well who popped in while I was reading those. But welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you spending your weekend with us. We know there's probably lots of other ways that you could be spending it, and we appreciate your time. Again, I'll throw out the numbers, but we're gonna be taking W. Matthews' call here in a bit. But if you would like to get in a comment here, 334-272-9228. Really want to talk about the Video Game Awards. And I believe that's why W. Matthew called in, was to talk about the Video Game Awards, or the Game Awards, I think is what they were called. Hey, W. Matthew, what was your thoughts on last night's performance?
A lot better than years past.
A lot better. Yeah, I mean they've obviously got some work to do, but it was their first show, and I think if they can get around some of the little quirks, I mean they were having audio issues all night.
Not that we can fairly complain about
audio issues.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. But yeah, I think there's little tweaks that they can do here. But I agree with you, much better than anything that they have ever done previous.
Yeah, a lot better than anything Spike has ever been able to do. But yep, they need to straighten up their live event management. That was very clearly mostly people in the control room screwing up.
Well, there was that. I think, I really hate to say this because you would think games, sure, why would you ever want to change that? But I think it was too long.
Oh, yeah, it should have been cut by about an hour.
Yeah, it was 3 hours altogether.
Yeah, that's a little long.
It was a lot. I think that
2 hours would be about right.
Yeah,
because I was sitting there, like, I could be playing some Rebirth and be halfway to a boss rush room.
You say that about everything, though. You could be...
Well, yeah, anytime I'm not playing Rebirth,
You'd be taking a shower thinking, God, why do I have to do this?
I don't have a waterproof keyboard, so it's out of the question.
You think about that with everything. So here's my quirks. Here's my pros and cons about it. My pros was that it was not on television. They could say what they want, and they could take as long as they wanted, and obviously they did. My cons on it was that during the world premieres and the trailers and the commercials and everything else, they needed to cut off the mics to the audience. Got tired of hearing the guy up front doing his woo thing. Mm-hmm. Got tired of listening to Ric Flair.
I was wondering if maybe that was Hip Hop Gamer or something.
No, he was not there, by the way.
Woo.
So during your world premieres and everything else, cut off the mics to the audience if you can do that. Obviously, that goes back to audio issues. Obviously, that goes back to people in the booth, just like you said. My other quirk was don't sit there and say that it's all about the games and then give your big awards off stage somewhere and just hand it to developers as they walk up. In other words, they went on stage and they did they gave away best handheld. They only presented,
what was it, like 3 or 4 of them?
3 awards on stage, I think, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But there were more than that.
Oh, there was more than that. But meanwhile, they would, it would cut to Jeff doing an interview with some guys, and in the middle of the interview, would say, "Well, you guys were nominated for this, and you won it. Here you go." Would not.
Here, Reggie, take 5 awards while you're down here talking to me.
The thing is, in some respects, that makes sense. It doesn't make sense. You already have them on stage. It doesn't make sense to send them back to their seat and pull them back up.
Right. So don't do the interview segment until after they've won.
Yeah.
Don't, in other words, go up there and list your nominees. Give the credit to the nominees that you've got so that people can see those nominees and then give the award. Just like any other award show. I realize most award shows will do the technical awards like the day before and do a highlight reel of that stuff. But seriously, they had, with the 3-hour length of this show, they could have easily done stage presentations for every single award.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also kind of agree, if one studio or one team, one game won multiple awards, give them all those awards at the same time.
I would agree with that. I would agree if you know beforehand, and I'm sure that they do, who won, then combine your awards to say, hey, we're doing this, and bring them up there to win, and then have them wait there off just to the side of the stage. Again, they do this on other awards, and I don't necessarily know that they should be trying to mimic other awards.
No.
But yeah, I know that I know I'm picking it apart right now, but overall, I liked it so much better.
It was a great step forward and a good first attempt for something Keighley basically organized by himself.
Yeah.
Well, what's sad is, I'm always reading about game news and stuff. I don't know why the heck I did not know this was on last night. I got home at 11:30. I'm like, let me check up Reddit real quick. And they're like, the new games. I'm like, why are these games being announced? And I was like, it was the award show. I was like, how did I not know about this?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It was advertised pretty heavily.
I mean, I'm all on all the websites. I would have thrown it on the
You're
Facebook
on all the
and
internet,
everything.
aren't you?
Like, I don't know how I missed this.
I will admit, I feel like the music segments were well placed.
Yeah, they did.
Packed.
I think pretty much all the music segments were really good, and they did really well with the finale. Actually,
with Imagine Dragons and Zelda. Yeah. In fact, I've got that whole track that we're going to play when we get done with this segment here. That we'll play us to break a little bit later. That was honestly, and by the way, not the whole track when they went into their song, but just the Zelda part of that track.
Yeah, good
that
stuff.
was probably my favorite part of the entire show.
Them and Koji Kondo on stage.
Yes. Although I really did, as far as the music acts are concerned, I did enjoy the guys doing No Man's Sky, just doing that little instrumental section there. I did enjoy that. Whatever the guy was doing, playing the lasers, I was not a fan of that.
I was fine with that just because it was a bunch of retro tracks, but
yeah. I also wasn't a fan of their DJ playing with this little Game Boy thing or whatever it was. I thought there was issues there, but again, that's neither here nor there. Little bitty nitpicks and stuff. I just think they're going in the right direction, and I think I look forward to whatever they're going to do with it next year as well. Go ahead.
One thing that moving to Twitch and moving to live streaming only allowed them to do was actually give the right amount of time to the people for King's Quest.
Yeah. Yeah, that King's Quest video.
Hey, man, Odd Gentleman taking over King's Quest. I didn't even know that Odd Gentleman were working on that.
Neither did I.
Wait, what?
King's Quest, man.
Oh, jeez. How do you not know this?
I don't know. I've been...
You have an RSS feed, right?
No.
But the thing is, it wasn't just that. They had the entire video, like, basically mini documentary, like 5 or 6 minutes?
Oh, no, it was fantastic. No, it was great.
Like documentary that they could only do that because they didn't have to worry about commercial breaks. They didn't have to worry about all these other things. They could just do it.
That was again, I go back to saying that this was much better because the fact that they weren't associated with Viacom, weren't being broadcast on Spike TV, they didn't have to adhere to any kind of backroom deals saying, look, we'll let our band perform, but you gotta give them this much time on the stage. They've got to do this. We take a break at this point because we got to do commercials and stuff. We're only going to give you this much time to do it because we got to show our reruns of whatever it is that we show on Spike. They were about the only limitation they had was however long they had rented the facility.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much it. That was the only limitation they had on that. And when you are not bound by those things, it allows you to free up and be a little bit more loose with how you do things.
Yeah.
And a little bit more creative and liberal with your time and how you want to use that time. Which is why it bugs me that they did all those awards off stage. The Developer of the Year should have been something that was done on stage.
Oh, completely.
Oh, yeah,
Did they have this issue last year?
I can't remember last year.
I feel like last year they had the main rewards. They weren't.
Last year was really weird the way they did the VGX.
Yeah, it was.
That was very strange
and awkward.
There are 2 awards I was pleasantly surprised by. One, Best Indie Game, going to Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight, yes.
If you haven't played it, you need to.
I've heard good things about it. The main thing I hear is basically 8-bit Dark Souls is kind of the main comparison I hear.
I'd say it's probably closer to Mega Man, but yeah, that's kind of a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that won, and I wish that they were on stage because just so, I know they were highlighted and it was done off off stage. It was one of those here, you won the award that Jeff gave them. But the Games for Change thing, just the fact that the UbiArt guys won, the Valiant Hearts.
Yeah, they won for Games for Change and Best Narrative.
One I will disagree with. This War of Mine should have gotten that.
For Games with Change, or for whichever one, or narrative, because they won both. They won Best Narrative, and they won
the Games for Change.
Yeah, I haven't played this War of Mine. It looks like something that's right up my alley. Makes me think a lot of just seeing like some of the videos. Makes me think kind of like the same playstyle as Deadlight or like the old school Prince of Persia.
Deadlight's not bad, and Prince of Persia's not bad, but this War of Mine is.
I mean, I know there's more than just like the action and exploring segments, but that was.
It's more point and click. It's actually probably far closer. It is basically Don't Starve set in a war-torn city, basically, or a city under siege.
It is, if Valiant Hearts pulls at the heartstrings, War of Mine pulls at the reality side of your, not necessarily reality side, it pulls at your, oh God, it's just depressing.
Yeah.
It's really depressing. There's not a lot of hope in that game.
It's a bleak game.
Yes.
Very much so. And the other sort of, for the second one that I'm was surprised and glad that he actually won it is Trey Parker for Best Performance for South Park Stick of Truth.
That game, I could see that. I mean, do great voices.
I was glad he won that as well. When Troy Baker got the big pop when they listed his name, I was like, you guys are cheering it on because it's Troy Baker, your guy from a bunch of different games.
Yeah. From every game, really.
Are you cheering him on for his performance in Shadow of Mordor, which is what he was nominated for? And I haven't played enough of Shadow of Mordor, and honestly, I don't know. I think his efforts with other games probably outshine his efforts with Shadow of Mordor. But yeah, I was glad to see him win that one too. I thought,
No, yeah, and also 2 Telltale characters as well in that category.
Adam Harrington. His loss was a tough one too.
Wolf Among Us, he was the best part of that.
God, he's really
good. He did a great job.
I've met him at E3 before, man, and he's a really nice guy and extremely talented with the way he did for Bigby Wolf. And so that was another one that I'm glad of who won, but if him or Harrington could have won, or even Clementine. If Clementine could have won, I'd have been okay there too. Not that
I'm fine with Trey Parker.
Not that everybody but Troy should not win.
Yeah.
I just thought that for what they were being nominated for, there were some better candidates up there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, him winning that one was good.
Also, the first of all, the developer of the year, which was Nintendo, for those who don't pay attention, doesn't actually surprise me if you've seen what Nintendo has actually released this year.
No. You know what? Nintendo is on. I think Nintendo's on a.
Nintendo's been doing their best turnaround.
They are
about the early Wii U launch.
I think that this was probably their best year as far as what they've released, and I think they've got a good year ahead of them too.
I hope so. I mean, I want them to do well. I like,
Well, apparently we're getting Zelda.
Yeah.
Apparently we're getting Star Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Zelda we knew about, Star Fox was a new announcement.
That was interesting.
2015.
Splatoon, which I played, is very, very fun. I played it at E3. The paintball with squids or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Mario Maker.
Mario
Maker looks like a ton of fun.
Is another great one that they've got. I think they've got some great games lined up for the Wii U. And
for those who and on their handheld side, for those who are fans of Valkyria Chronicles, we have Codename Steam.
Yeah.
We also a remake of Majora's Mask.
Yeah, that one I'm really looking forward to. For the 3DS.
Yeah,
because we talked about that. I'm hoping on that one they make the introductory sequence a little more. I mentioned this last a bit more clear. Yeah, because that's
like where most people get confused and they put it down. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Which, by the way, it's awfully convenient to have this big showing at the Game Awards with new stuff coming out, and then next week, it may even start tomorrow. I believe Target will have the. We'll have the bundle. We'll have the Mario 3D World bundle and Nintendo Land bundle. Normally for $300, they're going to sell it for $250.
Still, sometimes I still get on the fence about my feelings for Nintendo. sometimes I still think that they should just take the page from Sega and get out of the hardware, except for the 3DS, and just develop for other people.
Rephrase that. Be very specific. I wish they'd get out of the home console business.
Yeah.
Because they are very clearly they make some of the best games and have some of the best developers in the industry.
Yeah.
Bar none, by far.
But I mean, like
their relationship. But they absolutely suck at building back-end stuff that gets third parties onto their system.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want a Wii U. I didn't do much with my Wii. I don't like the whole movement waggle, whatever. I don't know. Maybe
that's great because they've kind of gotten rid of the movement waggle stuff with the Wii U.
There's like a little bit where you can like use screen kind of like if you're looking through a scope, you can move around.
Yeah, there are some aspects, but for the most part, you control games with a controller now.
It just to me, like once they get out of their gimmicky phase for like controller and stuff like that, and just like here's a console, here's a controller, here are games. Go back to the basics. Then I'd be way more inclined.
Like I said, I think that they're doing a lot to sway people like you. Matt.
Yeah, I mean,
I think with Bayonetta 2,
we go back far away, Nintendo and I.
With,
to Game & Watch even.
Even Mario Kart looks really, really good.
Yeah, Mario Kart's a ton of fun.
And as much as I love Mario and stuff like that, and Zelda, I would love more third-party support. I want the GameCube to me was like their last great system, and like you look at the games on there, like Eternal Darkness, Rogue Squadron. They had all these really, really good games on there.
You've listed 2. Can you go?
Oh, Wind Waker. That was a good. Although that was
first party.
No, that's first party.
A bunch of Resident Evils.
Metroid. That wasn't Nintendo. That was
Metroid Prime.
That was Nintendo.
That was Nintendo.
Was Echoes?
It was a different developer, but Nintendo.
Rare.
Other M.
Was it
no,
Rare?
it wasn't Rare.
No,
it was
Metroid. It was Metroid Other M.
Okay.
No, that's Wii.
No, that's Wii.
I guess to take this back to the Video Game Awards.
Robotech. I like that game. That was a good one. I'm a huge Robotech fan, but I mean, I like the GameCube.
Just to cap on that GameCube comment, where I was going was that was that I had Rogue Squadron, I had Eternal Darkness, I had maybe 2 to 3 third-party titles, and then I had like 7 or 8 first-party.
The Resident Evil remakes, those were really good.
Right, so that would have been 3 for me. The ones I remember from that console system was Double Dash. Yeah. And we played a bunch of Wind Waker.
Yeah.
We played a bunch of stuff competitively. So we did the Mario Tennis, we did the Mario Golf, we did the Mario Kart, like I said, and gosh, I had another couple of different. Just F-Zero was another one that I played on the GameCube.
Smash Brothers.
I did not play Smash Brothers on the GameCube.
Really? Oh,
I'm not a Smash Brothers guy.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was. I still owned a lot of first party titles, so I mean, I'm fine with their first party, stuff that they keep churning out. I'm okay with that. Once I get a Wii U. But
what did you?
Go ahead.
What did you think of the Game of the Year? It went to Dragon Age. It doesn't surprise me. I still think Shadow of Mordor or Bayonetta deserved it more, but given that you had organizations like The Guardian and Entertainment Weekly on sort of the judges panel, it's kind of to be expected.
I always feel like Game of the Year, to me, it's like they only think about recent games. They don't think about stuff that came out like early on in the year, because there's some really good stuff that kind of early year stuff.
I can't remember all the nominees that were for Game of the Year.
Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, Hearthstone, and Shadow of Mordor.
Right. So I remember when they were listing all these, I was going over it in my head, and I was like, wow, all the nominees with the exception of 2 are some type of sequel or something based off a previous franchise. Shadow of Mordor, I realized that it's set in the Lord of the Rings universe, but it has no game preceding it. And Hearthstone, while tied into Warcraft,
it's kind of a different game.
Is completely different altogether. Which, by the way, Hearthstone being nominated for Game of the Year, I think is amazing itself. Yeah. Just to get that nomination for a game basically that I only know about on my tablet.
And the new cards come out Tuesday.
Nate, I believe, was probably disappointed that they did not win Game of the Year.
You could if you want to play with the new cards, you could go play Arena. All the new cards.
I already have.
No, he needs some GVG action.
I don't have a problem with who won. I don't necessarily know that there's any game that could have won that award among those nominees that I would have had any kind of issue with. It mainly stems from the fact that I haven't played many of them. Bayonetta 2 is obviously one I have not played. Shadow of Mordor I played enough to say that that's the only one I played. Sure, go ahead and give it to him. Dark Souls 2 I have not played.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins or Inquisition I have not played. And Hearthstone I have not played.
I'm glad you weren't a judge.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I think most of the judges have it to be I should rephrase that. I think the judges from like The Guardian and Entertainment Weekly,
the ones who are not from the game industry. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I have this feeling that's why I think Dragon Age ended up getting it.
How do you think that should be? How do you think that should be handled? Should viewers vote, or is that a big no-no?
Not for this.
Yeah, I'll say there were some awards that were viewer votes.
Yeah, viewer choice awards would be okay, but not for like the
fact
big,
that Total Biscuit won.
Honestly, I think the thing that kind of irked me a little bit about the judge selection is that there wasn't a single YouTuber on that list. Not one.
No, you're right. There wasn't.
The trending gamer list?
No. The panel for people judging.
Yeah.
There was no YouTuber on.
Like,
the favorite game personality, yes, there were YouTubers on there, PewDiePie and Total Biscuit.
Who ended up winning, but 70% of the audience goes to YouTube to find out about games, and yet there wasn't a single YouTuber on the judges panel.
You know, again, we go back to it was their first show out of the gate. Maybe
that might be something they consider for.
We look
next
at how
year.
We kind of need to look at how they do it next year to see if anything changes, or to maybe we just need to monitor what they say. Maybe they throw out suggestion boxes type stuff.
Yeah, who knows what kind of deals Jeff Keighley had to cut to get this thing off the ground, even so. It may have been like, we only need industry people on the panel and like a couple of media outlets.
Right. Well, that could have been set up by all of the sponsors from the developers who were putting their money in the hat and said, look, you can do this, but your panel of judges needs to be from this pool and not from this pool. I have no idea.
It's kind of weird since even anyone who's been paying attention, including a lot of publishers, have started admitting that, YouTubers end up getting them more sales than Games Press.
It's a thing it's going to be a slow and steady turnaround on that, because everybody wants what's been the traditional way to keep chugging along, because that's easier than having to plan out a new route and be like, how can we turn YouTubers into our marketing department, essentially. It's like, just much rather have a marketing department. Let's focus on that, because that's easy. We know how that works.
So
overall, I think my overall conclusion, and I guess since this segment is almost over, you guys should just give you a quick sense. Well, good first start, definitely a lot of potential, definitely way better than the train wreck that the VGAs and VGX was.
Yeah, it really makes me wonder if Jeff had been given his... if Jeff didn't have to adhere to those things early on when he was trying to do these things, if we had gotten to this point sooner rather than later, I don't know. Or did it have to have all those stumbles before to get to where we are now? I don't know. But thanks so much for the call, man. As always.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, and we will hopefully talk to W. Matthew again next week. All right, we are behind, and we're going to take a break here. I just want to make a reference to Omniped in the chat room. He says, I recognize that voice. Evil Avatar Radio?
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Oh, wow, back from the old country.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago, but yeah. Same voice, same room.
Yeah.
We used to do EVAV Radio in as well.
Good ear.
Anyway, we're going to take a break. Going out of when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the PlayStation experience that was going on earlier today. We'll talk about what games we're going to play. And just generally close the show. But as we go to break here, we've got the music that closed the Game Awards from last night. A little bit of Imagine Dragons, but mostly it's the composer for...
Koji Kondo.
Yes, for The Legend of Zelda. I was letting you say that because I will screw that up. We will be right back right after this. like a saxophone in there. Welcome back to In-Game Chats. That is the main theme from Johnny Bazooka-Tone.
Sure.
If you say so.
Okay.
It reminds me of Ridge Racers. You guys ever play that?
Yeah.
You know, he sent me a Ridge Racer track, but it's all vocals throughout the whole thing. Yeah, if you send him music, it needs to be an instrumental version and not have vocals. So
and no sirens.
No sirens, but so we'll listen to these things before we put them on the air. Yes, so welcome back to the show. Last little segment of the show here. We're going to talk about the PlayStation experience that took place today at noon. I know that you got to see some of it, Nate. I got to see a little bit of it. The rain cleared up, and and the sun came out, so I got on the bike and got a run in because I can't miss a day. I don't like missing days.
Yeah.
For getting a bike run in. So I watched the Uncharted 4 presentation, which looked good. I tell you, the environments looked fantastic. The vegetation and stuff, the trees and the ferns and all that stuff, that looked amazing. I was sad to see that he still got the same jump animation.
Why?
I don't know. I just because I
you need next gen jump animations in your games.
They didn't they do a new engine for this thing?
I have no idea. I haven't played a single Uncharted game. Why are you even asking?
Well, because that's the first thing I saw. Obviously, I see him stand up. The only thing that we've seen since then is like that reveal, which looked phenomenal, and of course was told that it's all running on PS4 hardware. And then like the camera pans around, and then as soon as he takes that jump, I was like, oh, still got the same jump. Okay, it wasn't a big disappointment. It was like, all right,
maybe that's just how Nolan North jumps.
Still doing the Uncharted thing. Still doing all that.
I mean, I jumped the same way I jumped.
All right, fine. The jumping criticism's stupid. Okay.
IGN, gosh.
But
next week's interview with Nolan North about jumping animations.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Nolan North.
And what did they show after that? What was after Uncharted?
So that's when it started. That's when all the people started coming to watch it. Wait, when that was coming on, so it started lagging on me.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I never had a problem with it. I just got up and left.
I know there's been a lot of anger about Final Fantasy VII reveal.
Yeah.
Not being a remake.
See, man, that was fun. That was fun for me because I don't care.
Yeah, I think it was Bloodborne was next.
You're right, it was.
Bloodborne
was the next thing they showed off, which that was shown at the Game Awards as well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was going to have co-op. I don't know where I had missed that whole situation.
It's a Souls game. Yeah, of course it's got co-op in it.
But I mean, like co-op play together co-op, not co-op leave little messages around type
no,
stuff
that's been in Souls games since
Dark
Demon
Souls.
Yeah.
Really?
You could always have co-op play in Dark Souls.
I did not know this.
Yeah. You could. I mean, people can't.
Or maybe I did, and I just didn't think about it.
You'd have to bring them into your game. You'd have to summon them through their sign.
You'd have to summon them through their call sign.
Really. But yeah, most people will like leave them near bonfires, and you'd be like, okay, let me summon this guy into my world. Yeah.
Or rooms in front of a boss. You'll have plenty of signs if you need help. You can always call somebody.
Because I know, like in the first one, it was just like the notes, like you were saying, like the little memos of, hey, go ahead and jump off this cliff. It's safe, and you do it, and like, gotcha.
Demon Souls or Dark Souls?
The very first one,
Demon
Souls. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But Dark Souls were at,
I'm trying to remember if that was true in Demon Souls, but yeah, Dark Souls definitely you could
mess with
assist somebody that way, or
just mess with them.
Just mess with them.
Yeah.
Jump off here for a short.
How does the internet tend to like go with these things? Helpful or harmful?
Mostly harmful.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But once they actually started getting like the other avatars in there, like other characters, to help out. That
was it more than has it always been just two people, or has it been more than two?
I think you can summon more than one to help you out in Dark Souls.
Wow. Okay. Because I think they were doing that with the Bloodborne stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't quite clear if it was like you'll be running concurrently with other people in the world, or if it will be like summon them into your world.
Mm-hmm.
That part is clear, but I imagine something like in the Souls games will be present there.
I guess pull up the three folks to help out whatever area you want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So that was shown off. I know they showed some more Batman, which I missed, and then I watched it and I was like, oh, they're just no.
Grim Fandango.
Did they show off Grim Fandango at the PlayStation Experience?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
They actually showed some of the footage, which is good because it's the first time I've seen the footage with the new lighting and everything, and it looks fantastic.
I know they talked about that, and then they announced the Day of the Tentacle.
Day of the Tentacle. That really got me. I'm like right in the feels.
You know what? I lied. It was after Uncharted. It was MLB.
How could you lie to us like that?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It was MLB.
RJ, I'll hate this, but
Now,
yeah, I totally forgot that.
I'm looking forward to The Forest.
I didn't see that.
The
Do
Forest?
you know what that is? The Forest.
Is it the one that's on PC?
On Steam right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it got announced for console.
That's a scary game, so I'm not really looking forward to it.
It's not. It's survival.
I've heard really good things about it. It's in my wish list. You
Yeah.
know, I keep on looking at it, going, much like I guess you with Stick of Truth. You know, you have your things in the wish list, and you're like, maybe.
But I mean, that game's not even out yet.
Yeah,
it's greenlit.
Yeah,
it's just, but I'm glad it's coming to console.
Oh, definitely.
It'd be really cool. If
more people to experience it.
It'd be really neat if it's co-op. I don't know if it is or isn't, but
They announced Killer Strain, which is a free-to-play title.
Yep.
Yeah. Gosh, there was a lot of announcements
Must
there.
Die.
Really, that was on the list. EA's giving away free games,
which I linked in chat.
Yeah.
Did you find out if you got to be a PS Plus member?
No, you do not.
It's downloaded on my Vita right now.
Yeah, it's Garden Warfare on the PS4, Mirror's Edge PS3, and a Need for Speed game on the Vita, I think.
Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Okay, yeah.
Which I actually already own the physical copy of Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Is it for the Vita?
Yeah.
Okay, so you own the little.
When I bought my Vita, that was the first game I bought. I own 2 physical copies of Vita games: Assassin's Creed Liberation, because it came with it.
Yeah.
And Need for Speed Most Wanted.
I have, I think, 3 or 4.
Which is okay, because I'm still going to take advantage of that free game, so now I don't have to have the physical copy with me anymore.
You could turn that trade in for something, maybe.
Actually, you know what? I could.
You know? That's always a possibility.
I could get back, $5, $1.50, really. Yeah, exactly. Is probably what we're looking at for that.
Yeah, I've got Metal Gear, the 2 and 3, Final Fantasy X, Virtua Tennis, and Dynasty Warrior next. Those are the 4 games I actually physically own. The rest of them are all, on the cloud, so to speak.
Yeah, downloadable, digital.
Yeah, digital copies.
Let's see. Media Molecule did a thing for Tearaway. Another presentation of that, which I really love. And something was announced from the Katamari folks, I thought. Watem or something? I can't remember how it's pronounced. And we don't really know much about it, though. Even the little trailer they showed off wasn't much to see. Goodness, what else was shown?
Super Time Force.
Super Time Force. Adrift. No, Adrift was from
Adrift was the Game
Awards. Yeah.
Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, Street Fighter 5 announced for PS4.
PS4 and
now
PC.
that had leaked like a day early.
Yeah.
Because Capcom or the powers that be decided to take it off YouTube soon after.
Which ain't much, because they didn't show much gameplay, honestly.
No, not much.
But was it enough to get your interest in?
Well,
not that they don't have your interest.
Street Fighter, of course it is, because that's going to be in tournaments everywhere across the country.
By the way, chat room, RJ's talking. Hope you're listening.
Rare occasion.
Yeah. So Street Fighter 5, what was your initial reaction as far as like, oh gosh, it's exclusive to PC and PS4? 2, you've got a PC, probably not beefy enough to run
Street my PC's
5.
Oh, but it works, so still gonna be
no,
used.
that's understandable. And you don't have a PS4, so
not yet.
No, not yet. No, I always said about the PS4, there have to be enough titles on there to merit me getting one.
This is one more in that right direction for you.
Yeah, it probably won't be till first quarter or second quarter of next year before I actually pick one up. But yeah, I do intend to get one now. If everything's true now, if Street Fighter 5 is coming on there, I'll pick it up. Hopefully, like I was saying earlier, I won't have to put extra money, an extra $150 or $200 in a new stick for the PS4 if the USB drivers that are out there for the PS3 to let you put a PS3 stick on a PS4 is actually going to go through or not.
I would hope so. I mean, that would be the easiest thing, obviously.
Yeah.
That's a question I have for you. Is since you've been around fighting tournaments lately, is there a reason they prefer consoles over like PCs? Because a lot of the fighting games are coming out on the PC now.
I guess more accessible, but I think a lot of times, especially in Street Fighter, the frames, there's no lag in frames for the Xbox 360 as opposed to the PS3. Used to be a lot of times people put it on the put Street Fighter on the PS3, but then they figured out that the frames are better. Links would go a lot smoother on the 360 than it would the PS3. So they just try to stick to the 360 in that case. Of course, some consoles like Killer Instinct, it's only available on the Xbox One, so they're going to stick with the Xbox One.
Zufu has a great question in the chat room. RJ, they can't mess with the balance of the game, so is this just a cosmetic upgrade?
Oh, they can always tweak it. I mean, cosmetic. I'm going to say cosmetic like suits and things like that. Better looking, looks better, things like that. But
yeah,
this isn't just this isn't just Street Fighter 4 reskin. Imagine this is a new
game,
new fighting,
new engine,
new engine, new frame rates, new things to deal with. Yeah.
We'll probably scan on details until more comes out of either PlayStation Experience or
I think the big details that we get from that is the fact that it is exclusive on PS4. I'll throw PC in, and not because it shouldn't be left off, but I think this is a situation where I think what we have here, I think we have a Tomb Raider situation. I think we have a Bayonetta 2 situation. They want to do it, but they don't have the money to do it, and Sony steps in and says, here, go make that, but it's only going to be exclusive to our system. Is my thought. I do not know, but it's very strange that you only get a PS4 exclusive on that, not Xbox One, and not PS3 or not Xbox 360.
For the next gen. Yeah. I don't know why that is. I mean, Capcom's always put their stuff on.
You did say that with 4 they prefer the 360 because of the frame rate. Maybe this is to avoid that issue. It's like, let's just put it on one system. That way we won't be dividing our time developing on 2 different consoles, and then everybody just buys one anyway. So why even bother developing 2 of them?
I know it's yet to be seen because we don't know how it's going to perform. I mean, this is based over on a lot of experience with the 2 consoles. Like I said, it used to be on PS3 a lot 4 or 5 years ago. Used to be a lot on PS3, the fighting games. Now they're on 360 more. I guess maybe it was a durability issue also during that time, because I've seen 360s in tournaments that just died. In the middle of a tournament, and the PS3 was not as likely to do that as opposed to the 360. I mean, I remember I went to final round in Atlanta. I'm trying to remember which one. It was 13 or 14, but it was a Xbox Elite system, and within about 3 hours of play, this thing died. And the thing wasn't even a month or so old.
Sometimes things just die.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So when that happened enough, I guess they started
take notice
doing the PS3 more. But then that issue was resolved, I guess. So they started going back to the 360.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's interesting now that it's gotten your interest peaked up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough titles on the PS4 to merit me thinking about getting one. Bloodborne, Battle. I'm trying to think. What was one with the perks of battle something? I'm trying to think of the name of it. I can't remember it. Was something like Fortnite or something.
Was it Capcom?
It wasn't Capcom. That'll come to me. It'll come to me after the show's over. Yeah,
of
that'll
course.
do it. Yeah. It always does. But there's enough titles on PS4 to merit me getting one now. Probably going to be a little later. But
that's
not
understandable.
But a little later.
I mean, obviously, the longer you wait, the more titles you are going to have to play. That's the way I look at the Wii U purchase. I'm not saying that I might get a Wii U. I'm saying that, I'm probably getting a Wii U. I don't know when, but I know that when I do, back catalog everywhere. I will not be short of anything to play on that thing.
Are they backwards compatible with the Wii?
Yeah.
They are backwards compatible with Wii, but not with GameCube games.
Okay. Yeah. So I might actually be able to play Skyward Sword.
Well, you'll still have with Skyward Sword. You'll still have to play with a Wiimote. That's you don't get the gamepad for that. Because that was made just for the Wii Remote Plus and everything.
Yeah.
In terms of Wii, it's still only one game I want on there, but it's not worth buying a whole system for.
Which one?
Bayonetta 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it. That's the only game I want on the Wii U.
There's some other ones I think you'd enjoy. Again, probably not something you're willing to shell $50. Zombie U, I think you'd actually like, given how it plays. But again, I know it's not necessarily in your wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else was shown off at the PlayStation Experience? The 2 games at the end of the show were
Oh, well, I was going to say Dawn to Death was one. Did you see that?
Drawn to Death, yes.
Or not Drawn to Death.
Until Dawn?
Until Dawn.
Okay, yeah.
He just got the two mixed.
Both of them mixed, yeah.
It's a new game.
Yeah, Drawn to Death is David Jaffe's new game.
Correct. Which was one of the second ones.
Until Dawn is basically...
Cabin in the Woods.
Heavy Rain Beyond Two Souls. Mixed with, Saw or Cabin in the Woods or something like that, yeah. It seems to be directed completely by QuickTime events.
Yeah.
I saw that demo during the Game Awards, and it's kind of like...
Well, is that kind of like Rise? How it's like really primarily...
Rise...
The Son of Rome thing?
Yeah. Rise, oh, yeah, I haven't played Rise.
Okay, that one seemed like a lot of,
No, it's different.
Okay.
It's just it's like Heavy Rain.
Very much like Heavy Rain.
Yeah, because like one of it was like either hide in the closet or hide under the bed.
Yeah.
And then
what was interesting though is that you didn't see the PlayStation Experience. They showed that this was a live demo at PlayStation Experience.
Mm-hmm.
They showed the same thing that they showed at the Game Awards. However, he was playing it in real time, so he was getting suggestions from the audience as to what to do. So that first thing where she throws whatever at the guy, the audience made that choice. He's like, okay, we'll throw it. And they threw it. When she went and had the choice of either jumping over the bed and keep going or hiding under the bed, which was her downfall in the last playthrough, they all wanted her to keep running. And so she got through that. And like every time a choice came up, the audience was yelling as to which way to go with that. And he was picking which way to go.
I know there was at least one QT where it was like, in the Game Awards one, she went under the bed, and there was like a little thing to turn off the flashlight right quick, which still didn't help. But
going back to an earlier conversation, that might be one way for game trailers to really sell, be more, I guess, honest, is like have audience participation like that. When you're like showing it,
It works for that. I don't necessarily know it works
if it works for everything.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know if it'll work for everything. It did work for that.
Because that way, that's not canned footage. Like, okay, that's what they're doing.
He did say though that when you die in this game, your character is dead. There is no restarting. There is no respawning. The story adapts to the.
But it is like several characters in this cabin.
You then take control of another character, and the story adapts to whoever you then take control of and go through and whatever. So I thought that was interesting, meaning that, we're going to have a lot of different endings, just like we did with Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Beyond Two Souls was kind of limited in their endings, but Heavy Rain had a ton. And I believe this might possibly have that. I can't say for sure.
I don't think any of us got the same ending, with the Heavy Rain.
No, we all got different endings on our first playthrough, and I think a lot of us went back and tried to do some changes there at the pivot point, just to see what the other endings looked like. Or now, of course, you just hit up YouTube and find out what's going
on. Two more games would be the Destiny expansion.
Oh yeah, the Dark Below, yeah,
and then the Order.
Yeah, they did show off the Order. Okay.
Yeah, and the Order had a cutscene.
It had gameplay.
No, that was gameplay.
Was it gameplay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought. Or is this during Experience or Game Awards?
Experience. Okay,
because Game Awards was just cutscene, as far as I could tell.
Nope, that was gameplay. That's what was shown off at the Experience a little bit. Was like this was gameplay going on when they were rappelling down the blimp, down the airship. That was gameplay. That was people playing that.
Okay.
Which I was surprised with. I thought it was just a cutscene, but when they showed it at the Experience, people were playing through that. And then they showed a whole fight through the airship that they did not show at the Game Awards, and that was all gameplay there. There was a lot of games that they showed off at the Experience. No Man's Sky was another one. No Man's Sky.
That one looks really good.
I like the concept of it.
I'm just so afraid.
I just don't know
if
they're
going to sell.
Deliver. That seems to be one of those ones I probably enjoy watching people play rather than actually playing.
Yeah. Well, that I think is going to have to do it for us, folks. We are out of time. Don't forget, coming up in about an hour or so, we're going to live stream some pinball for you. If you guys are interested in the Venom table, that's for Pinball Effects 2. I'll be live streaming that right here on our channel on Twitch. So just stick around for that. Thanks, everybody, for joining us in the chat room and everybody listening on the stream and on the radio as well. We thank everybody who grabs us each week from iTunes or however you get our show for later use. We really appreciate it. Go to ingamechat.net and find us on Twitter, Facebook, our forums at coloniagamers.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you're on Steam, we've got a Steam group you can join up with over there and play games with us and other listeners. Have a great week, folks. Thanks. We'll see you next Saturday. Here's music from Tenchu, Stealth Assassin. It is the ending theme. We'll see you next week.